Hello, people out there. Welcome back to a brand new episode of your favorite podcast, Seek Your Purpose. This is your host for the show, Mayank Sehra. Quickly, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that follow button on the app you're listening to be the first to get notified when an episode goes live. Or if you're a regular listener, then a big virtual hug to you for tuning back to this podcast every week. Spread some happiness and rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and support us organically and reach out to the maximum. Now let's bang on the episode. Here we go. The other day, I was scrolling through reels on Instagram. So although I have restricted myself just to an hour on social media now, I usually spend time exploring the real world of Instagram. And it's fun. It looks so captivating that there was a time when people used to stand in queue for hours under the scorching sun, waiting for their chance to give an audition and stand out amid the crowd. How challenging were the times. You had to compete with hundreds and thousands of other aspiring ones and outperform others in the eyes of judges. Limited opportunities, limited time, and biasness was there. But now, when you look at the likes of Reels and other short content mediums, you can see tons and tons of talent. Everyone out there is creating something or the other in their distinctive style to stand out and leave it to a larger audience, probably the whole world, to decide. It's an amazing medium to vent out and showcase your creative side in a matter of merely 15, 30 or 60 seconds. Wow! But since the competition is boundless and every other person has the resources to think and build content, it's the survival of the unique. How impressive is your stuff? How amazing is your idea? How unique is it for people to relate to your content? As the word unique itself has a U in it, so treat this U as you. Y-O-U. It's you who's a game changer here. It's you who's unique to your content. So the uniqueness in you will help you sail through it. While the surest and the safest route is to copy and imitate others, but in doing so, you shut down your creative and irrational side. And you start thinking rationally. You shut down your impulsive decision-making ability. You accept what is being said or told. You just try and imitate this stuff without even thinking whether the same reflects your personality or not. So remember the golden line said by Dr. Eric Thomas: as long as you are being a copycat, you will never be the best copycat in the world. So, what makes these original creators think vastly and boundlessly about the content that they create every now and then? What's the process these guys stick to? You look at their work and you'd be astonished to see how these guys manage to create and produce amazingly different viewpoints with their offerings. Every piece of content is different and stands an amazing viewpoint. So I decided to reach out to a few of the content creators who are creating such kick-ass amazing content these days. I reached out to 10 of them, had a conversation of around 15-20 minutes, and I was able to identify a male set of common habits or steps or hacks. The way these guys operate might be different, but the overall structure explained by each of them with what keeps them fully refined, charged up, and meticulous with their stuff is what I'll be explaining in this episode. So I've managed to amalgamate the learnings out of these into a simple 4-step technique that is easy to understand, it's relatable, and can be worked upon. So these are surely not the only things to be done, but yes, roughly you can work around these and create your own stuff. It's wonderful, effective, and quite relatable. It is the change. Let's check them out. The first one is meditate. So what's the foremost thing that comes to your mind when I said meditate? Surely you envision yourself sitting in an upright position with crossed legs, hands on the knees, the tip of your thumb joined with the tip of your index finger, taking a deep breath, holding it for a few seconds and freeing it while chanting Om. Yes, that's correct. So all you need is a deep sense of connectivity with yourself while doing it. The core idea is to be mindful of your breath, the sound of breathing while you inhale and exhale. And doing it repetitively tunes your mind with your alpha wave, which is the highly intuitive, irrational, and the creative one. And while doing so, several introspections, thoughts, circumstances, possibilities, happenings, desires, people, establishments, and things will encircle your mind. You don't have to do away with any but, rather go with the flow. Let your mind travel the miles it wanted to. Let your mind unravel the unknowns for you. Let your mind decide the language it wants to speak. And let your mind visit all those possibilities it could. Let it travel. The second one, ideate. So the very next step is ideation. Since your mind has just encountered several thoughts for you, but these all are intangible ones. And you have to give them a tangible form. You have to just take out a pen and paper, write them down. Or maybe use your phone or take audio notes or video notes. Simply give them a wing. Express them in the best possible manner. Simply close your eyes and try to recall all those thoughts and ideas and write them down. Believe me, you'll be enthusiastic to see that you have discovered so many unique real thoughts out of your own that came straight from a path deep down under. And once you're done with it, spend some quality time identifying how you want to represent them. What ideas do you want to portray with the topic? Try to carve a roadmap of how you are going to connect the dots of the idea you just came aboard. So don't be logical over here. Let the irrational creative side of the brain play with the front foot forward and determine the course of action. Do it. Pen down all the possibilities that you could associate with the idea and let it all flow. And you'll be astonished to see the shape of your brainchild, creativity, originality, idea, and your real self. The next one, create. So the step forward is to shape up the idea into an absolute thing. For this, you have to brainstorm a lot over here. You can't simply express the ideas just like that. You have to use the method of articulation. You have to express it in the form which you want to see or hear that resonates totally with you. And the medium could be any. It could be a blog, it could be a podcast, it could be YouTube, Shorts, Reels, Instagram, Facebook, anything, whatever best connects with you, where you are comfortable in voicing the real self out to the world. But you should be clear with the idea of why are you doing it and why you should continue doing it. So create and add fire to your vision and hit that post button. And the world can't wait anymore to witness your perspective of life. And the last one is relate. So once you are done with meditation, ideation, and creation, the conclusive leg is to leave it out to the world. Let the world encounter your creative side. Let it explore what you have to offer for them. And it is extremely important to showcase your work out there in the world because you need the power of people to grow. You need the power of belief of many to grow to a different level. So please, I'm not asking you to attach all your hopes to the outer validation part, but all I'm saying is that the power of togetherness and the set of beliefs of many people can create a whole new change. So believe in your vocation, be delighted with your content, and make it unrestricted for people to experience, acknowledge, relate, and select. But their decision shouldn't deter you from making improvement. So if the idea is widely accepted, then be humble and grateful and make a move by leveling up your game. Anyhow, if the idea is rejected or failed to create the impact that you wanted to, learn from it. Simple. Take the feedback. Don't vaguely accept it, but try to analyze the bits and bytes of the failure. Rework it and make a move. Because if you keep on winning, you will learn nothing. So remember not to bind your happiness with the outside validation because no one owns you the time or money. And you only earn this validation over the period of time with your set of beliefs that eventually paint your work beautifully. See, it's an eternal loop. The hack of meditate, ideate, create, relate. The hack of meditation, ideation, creation, and relation is an ongoing loop. And you only get better at it. So it doesn't guarantee you initial success, but definitely a long-term happiness, pride, and longing to do more, think more, build more, influence more, execute more, and illuminate more. It recasts you into an all new world full of opportunities, circumstances, adventures, possibilities, and desire, my friend. So, just before we conclude the episode, I want you to think about what keeps the big titans, change makers, leaders, and passionate bigwigs to keep on going even at a certain age, when their body isn't supporting them enough, but still they are moving. What is it? So, take Mr. Ratan Tata for an example. 85 years of age, emeritus of India's largest conglomerate. He's still working. Why? It's surely not the money, fame, or recognition. I don't think so, but it's something else. What is it? That you need to identify in your own terms. So take a deep breath, hold and relax. Spend time with yourself, know yourself a bit better, explore, jot down ideas whenever they come to your mind. Give them a space in your life, create and make it open for the world to experience. Meditate, ideate, create, and relate. That's what I've got for you in today's episode. If you love the episode, the learning, the reflection, and the ideas which I've shared, then I'm grateful for this. So do me a favor, follow the show on the app you're listening to, rate and review the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, take a screenshot of the episode, post it on your social media, and tag me at MAYANKSEHRA. That is Mayank Sehra. Now take a deep breath, step out of the comfort zone of yours, break it apart, and seek the purpose that you are destined to on this planet and this universe, and let's create a life that we are extremely proud of creating, living, and thus giving it back to the society in the most generous way. Take care. Cheers.